All right, welcome back. Sorry for a few hitches there. We're going to be looking at the report from our colleague Akwesi Animeje from the Western region. And like I said earlier on, it's about the Butre Lagoon and the Ahanta West municipality and the danger it's posing, the bridge deteriorating there is posing to the lives of the residents. Let's take a look.
So I'm here at the Butre community located within the Ahanta West district of the Western region, which happens to be a tourism attraction here in the Western region because of a fort called Fort Butterstein located in this very community. But today, our focus in this very town is the issue of the Butre bridge situated on top of the Butre Lagoon that actually adjoins the Atlantic Ocean. This very bridge, as can be seen, has become a death trap to users within the community, and not just community residents, but those within the catchment, because it has become a link to communities between along the coast. I'm told there are several resorts that are spread along the coast, and because this very bridge that was actually constructed in 2006 and has not seen any serious renovation, it is basically affecting life over here in the Butre community. So I have the assemblyman for Butre, Mr. Matthias Otu, to tell us how challenging or how worried this very dilapidated bridge has become to life over here in Butre. So what can you tell us about this bridge?
Okay, for a year, 11 July 2006, which the bridge was started to. But for that, when it collapsed, nobody has come and to repair or to maintain it. So for that, only this community use our funds, and then people in this community, they are carpenters, have small experience about that. They help to maintain it literally for the community.
And so how difficult or how worrisome has it become in using this bridge? How dangerous is it to use this bridge?
Oh, as it had become death trap because of people trading, doing business, fishing, and then the farmers. So it is very difficult to use that bridge like that unless they maintain it nicely for the community.
Have you recorded any accidents on the bridge? Looking at the way it is, have you recorded any accidents on this very bridge?
Yeah, some has happened. Maybe last 2 years, on 23rd October 2019, because of the bridge collapse, some small guy fall into the river and then he lose his life. And then maybe last only 8 months or 9 months now, some pregnant woman to fall into and then it causes damage. So what I know is.
So as an assembly, as an assembly member for the community leading the development of this area, what effort have you actually put in getting this bridge actually fixed?
Oh, when I was in my time, I've wrote a letter, some to MC and then some to MP. So when I was in assembly, then I'm looking out whether they will come and then help us or not, but nothing has been done about.
How many times have you done reminders on these letters that you've actually sent to the assembly?
Oh, they know it. They know it. They know it. Even though MP came and then visit at times and then he promised, but nothing has been done. So they know it to come and then do something about.
So, right now as you speak, what would you say is your call to authorities in respect to this bridge that has become so, endangering to actually use?
Oh, what I can say is, as at now, you see people from Ewe Village, young, they came to school here, and then during those they are doing business, always crossing in and out. So it is very dangerous for you to use it like that. So if assembly or government come and support her, it will be likely and then comfortable for us.
Well, thank you, Mr. Assemblyman. And I must also add to this point that in 2019 we were actually here to do a first, report on this bridge about how dangerous it had become. And in doing so, we actually made contact with the MP for Ahanta West, who happens to be the current Minister for Chieftaincy, Mr. Kodokun, who actually promised that he will soon look at this bridge. But for close to 2 years now, the MP hasn't actually made any effort to get this thing done, or lobbied the assembly to do that. We also actually established contact with the then DC for Ahanta West, Madam Henrietta, who also promised to actually look at it. But it seems the bridge is still at where it is, and it's even getting a bit worse, looking at the fact that it's been 2 years interval since we came here. But we have other community members that we want to actually talk to them. You live in this community. How important is this bridge to life here in Butre? Bridge.
Okay, bridge. Well, 2006. Well, 2006. Now, what year now? Work assembly. And what year man? And so what quarry no? Now it's all say and yala and you maintain. Yeah, fine. And say, oh ma Butre, on beach, Asamasa, Asamko, and Utumano. Your father call, also for the back. And so beautiful father will be school, my family. And after also clinic or Butre, and say on beach. Na Asamko for Nadina, with Waba. And say, let's bridge all week. Otomotsu, a bien, my nipple quadamada, up and auto in soon. Manor Casse says Yari, Uncle Fa, where we were dumb beating, all by 4. Last year, Crampo, small boy be, Otomo we, yo, no, yeah, as a framoha. The bridge, Uncle Fa Baban, interview P. Yakasa, Naze, walk on a wababa, watching Webby, what about up to now, you will be Ya ye piala, and say, Mijaha, Massa Aban, there, one more today, at Dempity, or boy, pa, one way, my bridge,
So what this gentleman is telling us is that the bridge, since its construction in 2006, hasn't actually seen any renovation, and he's also making a point that several communities along the stretch, including Asamatsa, and then Angona Beach, and several other communities, about 6 of them, all use this very bridge coming to and from Butre to either attend school or even go to farm, and they are currently pleading the government or whoever is responsible to actually come and see to the renovation or reconstruction of this very bridge. He made a point that several people have actually come here to take their concerns out there, but nothing has actually come out of all these, interviews that they've conducted, and you're hoping that this time around there will be a change. But we still want to talk to other community residents to find out from them what they also make of the dangerous state of this very Butre bridge situated on the Butre lagoon. Mama Pacho Fro say,
"Watch your from Melboafo. If you Butre ha bridge and Wabaya man, Waboyan, papa. Yakadam Boyana, Boyan pa, and can't on the beach more from an Wobble school hano. It's a bridge, and I am not a Ubukra, they are better mental. No more from an Untu school, no what they fee. Damn, no, so I have more from one of the Dutch and see a slab band there. I'm more than a Boyama bridge in Dumu. I am of one of the Dutch. It's when ye am a hand.
So bridge in Busan and Crown school, no more defi,
Omonko school. If you are on a beach, a hand over school, bridge in Uba, Untumonko school, what they fear the man. I had a home from us. It's a slab.
So what Madam is saying is that the bridge has been very useful to the community, Butre and other communities within the catchment. He's basically saying that whenever it collapses, at times it collapses, and then it's sort of disables to them from actually coming to school. Those who come here to attend school and those who go out of the community to other places to attend school, to actually do that. And so they want the bridge to be fixed once and for all, so that it will help with the movement of students in and out of the community called Butre. And her appeal is for government to get this thing done. So these are some students who have been plying on this very dangerous bridge. We just want to find out from them on their experience in using this bridge. This is a rare case study that we're having here, having students use this bridge. Efros, what's going?
Yoko school, Butre Primary Center is a Catholic school.
Na bridge is how you saw Anna at say.
Saya fada, Obwanda was so I'm sure you saw buttons, Tinya slab and only any bridge in the year and ferment. Or bill for baby, or for the one who stood there, or bed, or buttons, and Tinya a chopper at the slab and the on by and for front friend, on for me, may I number then now come wine wins. Lisbeth Terrier.
So Lisbeth Terrier is a pupil at the Butre Catholic Basic School, and she is also saying that it's very threatening using this bridge. It shakes when they go on it, and it's not just them. You can see these small young children who are also using this bridge, and if it should anything happen, these are kids that might not be able to swim. We know this place also is a tourism destination, and we want to find out from some of the community people, so to what extent has the state of the bridge affected tourism in this area? Uncle, what can you tell us about the tourism?
We're from Matiotu. Now, mom, bridge in Oboyan. Bridge nature or your beaches by 5 now Yaka tourism or Hunter West, Butre in the leading. Go for bar. Now, what banana so Butre bridge nature all your times will be into me. And I'm the only bridge in an alchemist. Now, the Quany bridge in Osa, Unya Nassau, who them no na I last week, bring me on them down, Adriano Kruwari. All terminal, the man or call. Look, no catch and a Butre bridge in Anamda or danger and Tanamada there. I have it. And the bridge you were in Bregumaka. You won't such a beer. Oh, Budama, none of Quany, you grow now your waba. Have you one and ya for work or back in the Chiracapa? It's Banka busy. Na bridge ye Buddha, moon to Munko. Sir, and then will be sir, near Pada woman with a bridge also mobile. Obi biara ofi Orbasana Aqua Beach, be animal an offer. We are so beach in the moon or bar, a chrome biano so, to beach it an offer. Obiara ordering him, Baba call back a nature, friend you be an in your mother side, and ordering him, Baba call back a nature, no, or about bridge yan off for the bar. Into bridge and also mobile, then mum, young boy, yes, Raban, Dombra, Ombrum, that's what Bemisa, obey ya man, Amsterdam.
So, what this gentleman is telling us is that the bridge has been very useful when it comes to tourism in this area. One point that he made is that tourists who have been using this have also had their own, sad, incidences. We had a tourist who actually injured his leg when he slipped on the bridge. For that matter, they want government to actually do something about this bridge, because these tourists will definitely go back and say bad things about the tourism logistics within this area. Just as we're talking, we've seen some tourists who are actually in this community definitely having to use this very bridge. And I have one of them to tell me, Chief, what's your name?
Sasha.
Sasha, which country are you coming from?
I'm coming from France.
France. So what are you in this town to do?
I'm working in the western region. I'm here for 4 days as a break.
So you're here just to look at the facilities around?
Yeah, just exploring a bit, yes.
Okay. So what have you seen so far since you came?
Stay in Bourgeois and working along the coast, exploring a bit the side as well, yeah.
Have you used this bridge yet?
Not yet. I'm planning on doing so. Yeah.
How do you feel having to use the bridge?
I hope it's gonna stand. Huh? It feels like people try to do the best, but they don't have the right support to make something very safe for them. Huh? And the current looks like it can increase quite easily. So yeah, I hope it's gonna last.
So what's your full name?
Sasha Malika.
Okay, so that's Sasha Malika. A tourist I mean, in the catchment of this community. We just want to also talk to you. I mean, but they don't want to speak. You are taking them around. I'm sure you are a tour guide. What can you say about the state of this bridge and how it affects tourism over here?
I can't remember one time it was like falling and people have to walk through the lagoon, and that was very risky and some people were drowning, and then it was kind of like weird. So it would be nice if they would fix this bridge, and because I think they have beaches where people come around and they have fun, and it also attracts money for the community. So it's good like they fix the bridge so that it will be safe for the community also. And then, yeah.
So I mean, when tourists come here, what do they say about this bridge? If you have to take them on?
Very scary. And it is not like trustful because anything can happen at any time, which is like, I mean, yeah, it's in danger. So it would be nice if they fix it. Yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Susan.
Susan.
Nanama Sam.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is Susan Nanama, who is a tour guide over here, taking some tourists within this community around. And as you can see, they are contemplating whether they can cross the bridge or not, which is basically life-threatening. But we are going to wait and see how they make it to the bridge. We're going to make it to the bridge. We're just going to wait and see if they can actually make it to the bridge. They've already told me that it looks threatening for them to climb the bridge, but we'll be just waiting to see how they will maneuver their way on the bridge. And as a country that is actually pushing to, I mean, promote our tourism, if there's a kind of bridge that people have to use, you can imagine what it would do to the state of our tourism promotion effort. And currently they are also taking pictures. They also want to be in the heart of the experience of this bridge. And so we are looking at, I think they are making it smoothly for now, but we hope they will get to the bottom of the bridge without any incident. And so, I mean, that is the state of the Butre bridge, which has become so life-threatening and has become a channel for tourists who come here. And I'm told by tourists, tour guide over here, that it is becoming a disincentive to the attraction of tourists over here because it looks threatening. Some of them come and they experience accidents, and they want this very bridge, Butre, to be fixed. I have traders here, fishmongers here, and I just also want to find out from them, since they also trade within the area, how useful is this bridge to them?
Oh, boy, baby, I never been panel for the cool snitchy. Why? Your mother, I think you're content, and you'll be aqua haven't sent them.
Now, experience, I want to say, who you so, I debe now between us, who you so bridge, you know, Bibiato, and then what to say, who you so bridge now, and to say.
And some of them, my problem, have been got 2 tomatoes from a bar. My Mutia Tarbon, my buffum. I know I'm an uncle, why I'm a like a swatch and corner. See, but no, what when they be a.
One moment to me, the Mona Monaco Saba.
A boy, my junior, you could snatch where became be a. The number for the Yokoyaba.
So what this lady, who is a fishmonger here in Butre, is telling me is that the bridge has been very useful, even in its bad state, and they want it fixed. She's telling me that she's actually had an accident on the dilapidated bridge, and it was a very bad experience. And for that matter, for trade activity over here, I mean, the things that she's smoking over here, I don't think she has to sell it for these activities to actually continue in this area, for the economy of Butre to actually thrive. Government must fix this very bridge so that some of these accidents they've been recording on the bridge will be a thing of the past. But we understand we have some family relations over here who actually lost people, their relations on the bridge. And we also want to just hear from them the sad story of having to lose somebody on this bridge. What are you frozen?
If I'm good, you.
I don't know about my comfort bridge. Am I?
Your bridge, you know, moment there. Last year,
Maybe 10 years. Me no ko bush ya bay. Ana mo so my ready me dem mo mpano. Ti me fi mpano be ya na what about friends so then. Wa be bridge no mo already ago bridge. Na that so bridge no then wo bu. Enti o ya ma be o twen ya ma po ya be no kan ya zen to ya ma nim. Ani yankopɔ na adma na. Ye fi yankopɔ twetwa je ma ye be fi. Enti e be fi so abafo no so be kana no. O na ma fo de wo be agubakana na agudu ya na ye wezi. Che no kwafo bridge no se na ye na ubi. Ana abafo no tonsu no. Nje tonsu no na that so abo 6 up ko 7. Ya hwe na mamman meje na ha so me fia me papa no we den o wa wedi hin no ha. Che papa no boy akoma manyina wo boy. Mo ya hwe abafo na bibire ya san kana abafo na dey suma 1 week. Nsana yesa erika abafo na yes nche be so no na wa sai. Nche busafo fi madian wo be wasere sa abafo no se wa mo auto suma wa dia me ye na be sakwa me ye ne sakwa mo fa ko madian mo kwankese no. No se be ka fa bi wa sai no muto afanesa ya komede be kwankese na nche ye na afro no busafo wa bo na me gane mo no ana mma na o ha no ana me de wona sai da wo bo akawaje to akawodo me ti akapu wi etua me gane wo bo mo wi akawuntua busafo be no wagi na wo ye share da abafo me ne yanyan nti me gane so da wo bo en mani na wo bo me dan ya pa wo no kwabe enti mom efo kwa no mo tom abafo me de bia ba no jemo no ro asre owoda gwankwanta so man ne wamba ha enko motonsum nti akona abafo na ma gene kra no mo fa ne kra ma na mo famra no so abia wa wu so me ka fa ne kra so wan yifa me yankopɔ akara me ka fa abafo ne kra ma na me jaba nti de bia mo kom kotwaje me so yankopɔ na abafo no bebe wo bia no ammo na ma ne kra no yedan e bebi papa yedan ongina na mo so da che mo so maba mo so na ye na yedan ya tena odoma yedan wa yedwuma na mo bridge ne de na ko ya me ni aseme ma no ku bi o wogu no o ka dan ka bofo so na yedan o wa ma bridge no o ja ha no nye bridge be ma da no nye o de o ka da osor na ka ma o ye kwane sa afarafo wal ba o je hamalo ba kanima anu apem bridge no o ba wa pen da awia o wa ka fa ko bebre ana akoso fafo untu ka da je koyin da je mo because I want to boy me then yen me anam so yidi yakwa abere abseba I want to boy me so yanam na che se free ni am aka peme yama eye fa bridge na untu me ka da je koyin da je ma free we then wa ye bridge no enti esa ban da bridge no me mo do no ye o do wo so do kosor na o do kono to ma fafo so we ye kwana then wa je hama no da ja ba hen ba kanum ma so ye free habana seba I said then you want to enti na se be yama wa bubu bridge no aye na chi ye je so chi yankopɔ na yen adom fani bi wan da wan kala ko afan yam na moto da enkeje ye de so chema de chen ehun enkeje so eje so chema ye de chen etimu dia won mo de na no won mo na bridge no wo hwe yin ya e makaran fado mamo yen na namon o makaran fado e ka ma so e ho no ko ho asam ko ampata no ni na atwatwado aje kwata kwade.
What this gentleman is saying is that because of the bad state of the bridge, he actually lost his 10-year-old child on the bridge who found himself actually playing on the bridge, and the bridge actually caved in, and so for 1 week they couldn't even find the body, and the child has been hunting him since the loss of the child on this very bridge. He's also saying that they want the bridge to actually be fixed to a level that even a car can ply on the bridge to the other communities, and so that is the concern from this officer over here who is calling on the government to also fix this bridge. But we're going to the community to find out from ordinary young ladies and young guys. Madam, what's your name?
I'm Rosemary Kofi.
You live in this town. I mean, you are a young girl. I'm sure you are in school. What can you also say about life over here, and how important is this bridge to life and then maybe tourism in this community?
Oh, okay. This bridge, it was constructed when I was a kid. In fact, it has really been a long time. And whenever this bridge collapses, we have to buy, instead of them buying new wood and then this thing to do it, they just use the old one to reconstruct it again. Which sometimes, I quite remember there was last 2 years Christmas. There were a lot of people who were trying to cross over to the other side of the river. And what happened was, the bridge collapsed and all fell into the river. So those who were able to swim, they survived. And those who couldn't, the water just took them away.
So they order it. And sometimes the tourists who come here, sometimes when they get here, them crossing over to the other side becomes a problem for them. So all they have to do is just go back. So I'm pleading with the government to reconstruct this bridge for the betterment of this community as a whole.
You think, when tourism in this community thrives, that is, if this bridge is fixed and then tourists are attracted to the community, it will help with creation of jobs in this community?
Oh yes, it will. Because it will help a lot of people to get employed, like they taking them to the tourist sites and then other recreational places. Yes, I think it will help. So I'm begging with the government to help reconstruct this bridge.
So, basically that is a consensus over here in Butre community in the Hunter West district of the Western region, where because of this very dilapidated bridge on the Butre Lagoon adjoining the Atlantic Ocean, life has become so uncomfortable for residents over here. Some have actually lost relations. Some are not able to trade as they want to trade. It has actually affected school life over here. It has affected farmers who want to use this very bridge to cross over to do their farming and all that. But what I'm going to do now is to see if I can also try to climb this very bridge, which is so life-threatening, climbing it. I think I have to be a bit careful just to make sure that I don't become a victim to, the stories that I've also heard over here. This bridge looks a bit not straightforward. It's a bit maneuvering. We have portions that are flat and the portions that are a bit higher. And it's so threatening to actually use. But just to actually have a first-hand experience, I'm trying to gamble to see if I can actually make it to the high point of this bridge. Sir, how are you?
I'm fine.
Bridge, who you should be here? Bridge, no first one, who you say?
This year, the anya kura. This year, we nam so na shaky.
Who ka crowd?
Who mpa.
Do you say the trust bridge you?
I say omo bobo en ye mi. Omo blame ndade bia e betumi dia ye. Because in the end amboa.
But your first say?
But your Amos.
Bini. So that is Amos Bini, a regular user of this bridge, who is just telling me that it's threatening using it. It's very shaky. I can feel it, and they want some metals to be used in reconstructing this bridge. It's very dangerous. I don't think I can go any further. I want to come back. I don't want troubles. So this has been the story from Butre in the Hunter West region. The general call is that authorities must quickly look at fixing this very bridge. For City News, I am Akwesi Eje and in Butre in the Hunter West district of the Western region.
So that was our colleague, Akwesi Eje Nim, giving us some insight into what's happening with the Butre Bridge. And we heard from quite a few people there. We heard from the assemblyman, from residents of the area, sharing their experiences, what that bridge means to them. People have lost their lives. It means it cuts off economic activity when it's not in good shape. Tourism is affected. We saw some tourists there as well. Enim gave us quite a good view of what's going on. What we would have loved to hear or to see, or to people we'd love to talk to, would be the people who could actually do something about this. So DC or MC, where are they? Now, they did mention the MP. We know the MP's job isn't development, but perhaps that person could lobby for something to be done about this bridge. Now, the state of the bridge, I don't know. They're asking for it to be fixed.
Yeah.
Kweku, I think it needs to be demolished and totally rebuilt as something more sturdy.
Yeah.
Look at that structure. Yeah. How do they expect school children, traders, other people who pursue economic activity, tourists? We saw the tourists who were walking on it and almost negotiating the journey over the bridge before they took the walk. How can, if somebody's sitting in Parliament House, whether it's the MP, if someone is sitting at the Ministry of Tourism, seeing this, watching this, I don't know what would prevent them from immediately rectifying the situation.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, like you said earlier, the DC, the MC, whoever is in charge of that area is responsible to make sure that thing is fixed. But our colleague, Akwesi Animeje, who did the report, is actually on Zoom on standby. So, Akwesi.
Hello, David.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, you?
I'm very good, thank you. And after those heroics in attempting to cross the bridge, how do you feel?
I feel secured now because I'm not on the bridge.
I knew. Oh goodness.
So have you been able to speak to the is it a DC or an MC in that area?
Well, I would say 2 years back we actually managed to speak to the DC who mentioned that it was on their program, and they would be looking at that. And again, as I said earlier, we also spoke to the MP then, but now the Minister for Chieftaincy, Honorable Kojokum, who at the time also said that he was going to actually fix it, because he had told me that he had fixed a similar bridge somewhere within the constituency or the district, and he'll be moving to fix that. And up to date, it's been 2 years now, we haven't seen anything. Just after visiting the community, I made it all the way to the district capital, the assembly, that is at a Grand Kanta, some 25 kilometers, some 13 kilometers away from that place, where I couldn't meet the new DC because he was just confirmed and he hasn't actually commenced work. So we couldn't speak to the DC, but we met the district planning officer, Malcolm, who told me that it is on their medium-term development plan to fix the bridge. But this medium-term development plan is going to kick in from 2022. And so between now and 2022, there is no program for the bridge. So we have to wait till 2022. And even that 2022 medium-term plan, it is still subject to acceptance by the Assembly when they meet. And so that is the state of things with the Assembly in terms of their preparedness or readiness to look at how best they can fix this bridge.
And okay, so obviously we know how bureaucratic sometimes local governance can be. Like you said, there are many levels of approval that have to go through before the project can be commenced or even completed. But what about the MP lobbying the Minister for Tourism? We know that they've been giving out a lot of funding to tourism, to the hospitality industry, to try to revive the industry, especially because of what happened with COVID. Isn't there a possibility that if you're an MP for this area, if you are Honorable Kojokum, if you are the DC for this area, you could lobby the tourism ministry to say, look, this is an area that attracts a lot of tourists, but this bridge or the state of it is hampering our tourism potential. Please make it a priority as you are dishing out some help and some assistance, financial assistance. Perhaps they could give a budget for this to be done.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that is what should be done. We are looking at it in a rational way, but I mean, things don't work like that in our governance situation. For awareness, the assemblyman did mention that he's even written several letters to the assembly. So, and I've also made some contacts. So in terms of awareness or knowing that this problem actually exists, it is clear that they are very much aware. But the question is, what is stopping them from acting? I personally spoke to the MP for the area, who is not the chieftaincy minister, Honorable Lawyer Kojokum, and he's very much aware. He promised going to look at this issue 2 years back, and nothing has been done. So it's not like they are not aware. And so what he's saying is right. Rationally, they should be working with the tourism ministry to get this whole problem fixed, to actually aid or facilitate the movement of people who go there because of tourism. Don't forget.
In all of the conversations that you've had, have you gotten a sense at all of how much it will cost to fix the bridge or to get a new bridge? Is there an idea of the cost at all?
I am yet to actually get a cost because even if you look at the assembly's reactions to it, it looks as if I remember asking the assemblyman. He said that it is when they are yet to actually do a budget proposal for how much it will cost. So they haven't even gotten to a point where they will know how much it will cost. So I think from the planning point of view, that is where we should be getting the cost. But since it is still at the Butre level in terms of discussions around how to fix it and when to fix it. We'll have to wait a bit before we can get the specifics as to the likely cost.
Yeah, it seems to me, considering everything we talked about so far, that the people just don't care. I mean, they really don't care. 15 years, this bridge has been there in this state. Okay, this is not a bridge that people should be using in 2021 anywhere. Okay, let alone between communities across a lagoon. It makes no sense. It sounds like your people don't care.
That is it. I mean, you've well put it, because I mean, we have incidences of people even losing their lives.
Yeah.
And so if it must be planned with some kind of agency. It must be treated as an emergency situation, because we need to save lives. And if what I'm hearing or what I'm being told is that there's a plan to look at it in 2022, it tells you that people don't really care, they are not committed to it, or they don't see it as any matter to be treated with urgency.
Yeah. So let us, what is it that you've planned, if you have anything planned, by way of who else to contact? Where can we put the pressure on? Where are the other pressure points that we can apply to get government and the structures that be, the powers that be, to move and get something done?
Well, the Assembly has not spoken. So for the Assembly, this is the level they are moving. I think we have to make a contact, go back to the MP again to see what will be his reaction now. The tourism authority must also be interested in this, because this is a community that hosts one of the colonial relics, that is
Fort Battenstein.
Built in 1664 by the Dutch. And if you get to the hill, I mean the top of the hill, and you take a look, the view is so beautiful that anybody wanting to have a beautiful view from a hilltop would want to visit there. And even with that facility, the access to climb up is also another challenge. There are no handrails, there are no steps, and it looks slippery, even climbing to the fort. So the tourism authority, if they really want to promote our tourism, must be interested in fixing this bridge.
Yeah. Speaking of tourism, I think that this is probably let's focus on that for a minute. The Western region basically is got some of the most beautiful and is most visited by tourists of most of the places in Ghana. Where exactly, can you give us a sense of a picture of where exactly this is situated in relation to, let's say, Takoradi?
Well, Butre is situated not far from Takoradi. We're looking at about 25 kilometers from Takoradi.
Okay.
And so from Takoradi, you drive on the Takwa Road all the way to Agunan Kwanta.
Okay.
And then on the Agunan Kwanta, there's a roundabout. You take to your left. As if when you take it to your left, you are on the Buja Beach.
Okay.
Beach Resort Road.
Okay.
You drive about 10 kilometers into the Buja Beach Resort. Then you branch off. If you get it, there is a T junction with one going to Buja, one going to Disco.
Okay.
And on your left, you branch into Butre. And so it's a catchment of, tourism attraction. We have the Buja Beach, which is, nationally acclaimed as one of the tourist attraction. The tourist in the video did mention that he's even staying there. And so it's very strategic in terms of, if it is fixed, tourists coming to Takoradi, they wouldn't have to travel far to visit such a place. And so it's very potential tourist attraction if the tourism authority can look at how best they can work with the local assembly, the regional minister, and the MP to get this whole bridge fixed.
All right, Akwesi, thank you so much. That's a fantastic report you did there. We really appreciate it, to bring this to light for the rest of the country to see what's happening. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right, so Kokwi,
Kweku,
yeah.
You know what breaks my heart about this? The residents of this area are not asking for much.
No.
They're just asking not to die while crossing the lagoon. Like, that's simply what it is. And it benefits the country for this to be repaired and even, in fact, demolished and rebuilt properly. I can't
It has
understand.
to be
As you
rebuilt.
said, they just don't care.
Yeah, it has to be rebuilt.
Loss of life is not enough. Tourism potential is not enough. Economic livelihood is not enough. Education, you see the students who need to cross it, is not enough. So
yeah,
as
and
a-
there's
I mean,
communities that are coming to school on this
Yes.
side, you know. So they need to cross every day. They go and they come. They go and they come. You know, so
It
it's
beggars
completely
belief,
unacceptable
honestly.
that, you know, people should be talking about, oh, it's in our plans for the future. It's already too late, you know, so why are you not doing it now? Why are you still got it as a future plan? You know, if you really cared. I mean, of course, if you don't care, then it's a different conversation altogether. You
well,
know.
2022 is what, 3 months away, so let's see what happens.
But you notice what Akwesi said? He said that even the 2022
that one
is now something they are coming to now come and
they don't even
deliberate
know how
about.
much the thing's going to cost,
No,
though, which
at
means
all.
2 years ago when he spoke to them, they haven't done any work to actually find out the extent of the project, what it will cost. I'm sure nobody has spoken to any kind of contractor, nothing.
They don't care.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
You've summed it up, actually.
If they cared,
what's
we
a
would
shame.
know.
Well, all we can do is highlight the issue,
Yeah.
right? And hope that the people who actually can fix this will see this, hear this, do something about it, okay, and to influence change.